Welcome back, everybody. It's Rama from Junk Journal Divas. Hello, everybody. I am doing a very impromptu video here. I've been so busy trying to clean up after doing a mass paper dyeing project for weeks, and I just decided I am going to sit down and have a little bit of fun. So this pile right here is some of my eco-dyed papers that I had them outside in the sun drying, and it was very windy this day, and the wind just whoosh, they went right into my swimming pool, and I did get them out, but actually my husband got them out for me. But yeah, this is what I have left, and I was so upset, so I just saved them. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do something with these. So that is what I'm going to do. I have this pile. I grabbed some neutral papers. I have a bin that I put stuff in that would be good to collage with, anything that's interesting or scraps or whatever it is that I would like to I'd like to collage with. And then got my neutrals, got these, and then I just grabbed some other papers. These are some purples that didn't work out so well. So I thought, I'm just gonna play around. I grabbed a brown paper bag because I have a lot of these. And I like to use these for the base because since it's paper, it glues down to your project really easily, and it's also thin and it's pretty sturdy. So I am going to cut this into, I don't know, maybe 1.5 inch strips or something. And I'm just going to start laying some papers down. So that's what we're gonna do. Just a relaxing little craft time. So let's get started. So I'm just going to open up my bag at the bottom and then lay it flat, and then I can cut some strips out. And I did just they are about 1.5 inches. So now I have a stack of strips that I can use for my base. So I'm just starting with 2 of them and just starting to lay down some papers. So for this one, later on I work with some strips of paper or squares, and that is really, really easy to do because you don't have to worry so much about how you're laying out your papers. But for this, when there's not really any specific shape going on here, I pretty much just go along the edges first and then lay a couple of them down in the center. So that's what you'll see me doing. And also, because these are all torn, they get kind of, it's rough looking around the edges. So it's kind of a different look compared to when you've got the straight edges. Okay guys, so it is the next day. Just wanted to show you what these look like. So I put buttons on 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. And this was one big long roll, but I cut them. It's just easier to work with them. Unless, like say for example, I was just going to leave it plain like this and not put any embellishment on, then I would probably just, you know, leave it one big long roll and roll it up. And I have spools that I made to put these on, and I will show you that. This one, I put just 2 reds on to pick up the reds that we have in here. There's another one that has the reds. I got to use my papers that fell in the swimming pool. And so I'm going to put these aside, and I have a couple of other papers that are my eco prints that tore during the process, or something happened that they didn't get good prints. So I'm going to use those also and try to make some more of these. And I might also try some masterboards because they're just fast and easy, and I like to just have them ready for when I'm going to do a project. So for example, these that I don't have buttons on, this is normally what I do, and I do this, you hear my puppy's up from nap. It's like having a toddler again. But I normally leave them like this until I'm ready to use them, and then I can add something to tie it in with the project that I'm using it on. Or if I have to add a pop of a color, a different color, it just makes it easier when they're plain like this. So I just kind of did this for the video just to kind of show something. So I'm going to put these aside, and I'm going to work on another one. If you've never done a snippet roll before, this is definitely the easiest way to do it. So this is what I would recommend, is to just cut your papers into squares or little strips. And I do the same thing whether I'm using paper or fabric. It just makes it so easy. You just have to worry about what colors you want next to each other, and it looks great in the end. Okay guys, so next up, I have a pile of just papers that are kind of neutral here. Some scraps, some cardboard, and then some plain papers. This embossed piece, put that aside. And then I have some text and some music pages here. This is the one that is really old. See, it's really brittle, it just breaks. So these are good to use in collage. And then for my pop of color, oh, so these were sent to me by Karen Bradley, my diva sister, and they're just, I guess this is letters, I don't know what this is exactly, but she cut them all up just to kind of make collage papers. So I'm going to use these also, some of those guys. And then these gorgeous jelly prints. Look how beautiful these are. So these are going to be the color that I add. So I pulled these turquoise and these two. So I'm going to use these to add a little bit of color, and I'm going to make masterboards. So that's what I'm going to do next. And I'm going to start by cutting my papers into strips. I find this to be the easiest way to collage, especially when you have some items to use that you can make strips or squares or whatever it is that you want to use. It just kind of makes it easier. You don't have to think about, you know, adding pieces and big pieces or little. So that's what I'm going to do. It's just very relaxing to me. And I love using masterboards for making tags and all kinds of things. So that's what I'm going to do, is make some tags probably the next video. Also in the next video probably we will play around with things that you can do to your masterboards first. You can do some gesso over it, and I want to show you how it kind of softens the edges of the papers and just sort of blends the background. And then you can stamp on top of it, add some paint, whatever it is that you want to do to go with your project. So for now, making the masterboard, I'm going to start by cutting my strips. Now I like to use my tear roller, and I like using this because I can kind of make my strips the size of my roller. So it's very easy to use. Anything to make stuff easy, right? So let's get working on making paper strips. Okay guys, I'm back and I wanted to do a little recap here. So I actually started with this one using those jelly prints, and I remembered that there are these digitals that Art House Whimsy just put these out, and I love them. I love those soft muted colors in the background, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is pretty much the colors that I'm working with here. So I decided to stop and put the jelly prints aside for now. So I did this one and then I stopped. The rest of them I just did, and you can see here, this is just strips of paper. And so easy, just on the back of some kind of packaging. And we're going to make tags out of these in the next video, and I will show you how amazing the tags look when you use a background. When you start with this, it just looks so much better. So we've got these to work with. So this is what I am going to work on in the next video. So here are my snippet rolls, and I did cut them down because they're just easier to work with when they're a little bit shorter. I added buttons to some of them. Let me see, let me show you these two, just to kind of give an example of how I would embellish them. But normally, I just did this for the video, but normally I wouldn't even embellish them. I would wait until I was using these on a project, and that way I could add something to pull out a color in my project. So normally I would just leave them as is. So here's another one here. See if I can just hold them all up here. I really like this one with the little bits of red in. And then I also had some orange eco-dyed paper that it just didn't get very good prints, and then in addition to that, it ripped or would have a tear in it. So I just tore some of those up, and then I got to use those papers. So let's look at those. Okay, so these are a little bit longer. Now this one, I just decided to put some of the leftover threads that I had on here. You can see I've got my orange eco-dyed papers, some book page, some scrapbook pages here. This is a piece of, I think, watercolor paper, I guess. So all of these are kind of the same colors, pink, turquoise, and orange. And then I added another piece, this scrapbook paper, and this is the other side of it. And you can see my thread, it just adding that that bright blue, kind of fun. So I have these, which will be great, lots of fun to work with and do something. Maybe I'll use some of this in my tags that I make also. And then I just want to show you some other ones that I did with scraps of fabric. And in addition, I've got some of my paper towel ruffles that I made. And I made these spools. So I'll link the video for this, because these look kind of cool. Here is another one, different colors in there. And then moving on to, I've got fabric one here, kind of boho-ish fabrics. And the same with these guys. And I have some here so I can show you. Let's hold these up. So you can see this is kind of similar to the technique that I used today, in that I just used squares, the same shape, and just laid them out, overlapped them. These are a little strip of fabric on the back, but I've also used packing paper. None of these are packing paper, but I like it because it's really flexible. Just wanted to share some. So these are kind of pinks and greens, and then I did the same thing here with blues and green and some turquoise, get some purple there. So you get the idea. So we did a little bit of scrap busting here today. In the next video, we are going to make some projects with the stuff that we made today. So stay tuned for that. If you didn't subscribe yet, please hit the subscribe button and the like. That's a big help for us, myself and any of the YouTubers that you watch. And hit the notification bell so you see when I have new content come out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.